Let's look at the buying opportunities we can find in the stock market using technical analysis. Let's start with Tesla. We are up $1.18, closed at 181.19. Post-market seem to be up a little bit. So let's look at what this looks like on the chart. Let's not forget that. Still into our downward channel. So the behavior is that we should still cave in to any attempt to move past through the resistance. And this is what happened Monday of this week. We went super high and now we are caving in. But what we are noticing is that we are not caving in very much lower than the 176.73. So this means that we have a little bit of a step change right here. The stock price in mid-March is at around 162.56. We had support right here. It had a hard time going lower than that, except for this part right here. It stayed at that level. Now the new base level is at 176.73, but this is better. Once we are going to break this downward resistance right here, then we are going to say, okay, we are outside of this bearish channel. So we are going to be free a little bit to move a little bit higher. We have some other resistance that we are going to need to break. But, Rome wasn't built in a day. So the next step that we are trying to look at is a break of this downward resistance and also a break of 194.35. Once that happens, then it is going to be a buy signal for us to get back in. Myself, I'm jumping the gun a little bit. I got back in because I'm seeing that Tesla is maintaining itself higher rather than lower. So I see this as a positive sign. But in terms of risk, this is a little bit more risky. In terms of our indicators, everything is good on the daily chart. Everything is bullish. Let's take a look at the rest of the market. Look at this. VIX is going down 8%. 8% down for the VIX. This is fantastic. This should be helping the whole market. Government bonds coming down also. This is helping. US dollar coming down also. This is also helping. So it seems like the whole market is moving in the same direction. Let's validate that by looking at the stock indices. So, okay, look at this Dow Jones. It was stuck right here between 37,787 and 38,332. It was going up and down, up and down, up and down, and boom, now we have a break of 38,332. So this is a positive sign. This is a bullish sign. S&P 500, we have a move up also. We just got outside of this downward channel. That's a positive sign. Another positive sign is going to be a break of 51.29, which we did not get today, but maybe next week. And stochastic is already over 60. That's another good sign. Nasdaq, boom, look at this, stochastic over 60. And we have a break of 17,803. This is a positive sign. Let's take a look at our Magnificent Seven. Oh, look at this. So Apple had an okay earnings, but we know that Apple is going to buy back a bunch of shares. So look at this, a big gap up, and we started coming down. Look at this. We stopped where? We stopped at 187.08, right smack on this resistance right here, right smack. Every move in the market goes according to some previous lines, every move. If you don't see it, it's because your lines are no good. And now because of this big gap up, we have some short sellers that are coming in and shorting the stock. So we are going to have to wait for a couple of days to see where it stabilizes. Amazon continuing higher. We have a good stochastic. We are back into our bullish channel. AMD, a little bit of a move up, but no stochastic, so we should not believe that. ARM continuing higher and higher, but we are still going to have to wait for the earnings to see where this thing is really going to go. Google, it did not bounce on 161.74. It's bouncing a little bit higher, but this looks pretty good. Microsoft showing some strength. We are barely outside of this downward channel. So the break of 394, that would have been a sell, did not happen since May 1st. No stochastic yet, so we need to keep that in mind. Meta, no stock wants to climb a little bit higher. So this one, we have lost confidence in this one with the big gap down. So be very careful if you see it come back up just a bit. And NVIDIA up 3%. So let's hope that this goes to 973. Palantir broke back above 23.28. So, this one is good for a buyback. But because the earnings call is going to happen on Monday, that might change something. So there's a little bit of uncertainty here. You can still buy if you want to suffer that risk a bit. SMCI just going sideways. SoFi doing nothing. Truth Social cannot break 50, 80. We need that. Let's take a look at our EV stocks. So BYD maintaining itself quite well above 28.16. So, seeing this is giving me confidence that this is going to stay. Lucid, a little bit of a move down. We still have the earnings on Monday, so that might change things. Neo Battery, nothing to see here. Neo bouncing nicely on 529. Look at this. It came back down very close and came back up. So we have buyers propping this one up. Novonix doing nothing. Xpeng, after the big move yesterday, this one is stabilization. It might come down a little bit down to 822. So if it does, then this would be a great place to buy. You can buy right now with a little bit more risk. Rivian, we have the earnings very soon, so we'll see what happens. But this is looking pretty good. This is a buy if you don't mind what can happen next week. Bitcoin at last bouncing on 57,782. Love to see this. XRP also. Gold sideways, no stochastic, and silver sideways, no stochastic. So, you see the effect, gold was going higher, the stock market was going lower, and now things are turning around. The stock market is coming back, the gold is coming down. So everything is looking in sync. So we should be having a little bit of a move in the stock market in the following weeks, I am assuming. I do a Tesla Weekly Live every Sunday for my members. You can click join to become a member. During that live, we are going to look at the weekly chart for all of the stocks that I'm looking at to get an idea of the overall broader, longer term market. And we are also going to look at the sectors, which sectors are starting to launch and which sectors are caving in. So this can guide us into which stock we should be looking at. So have a great weekend. I'm going to see you on Monday, unless you are a member, in which case I am going to also see you on Sunday. So have a great weekend, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.